A good cocktail is more than just liquor. It's often combined with other ingredients like simple syrup and sweet and sour. But we're gonna give you more on those a little bit later. In this lesson, I'm gonna teach you some of the tools that you're gonna use to combine your ingredients, like the spoons to stir with and the tins that you shake with. We're also gonna show you some of the glasses that you can actually serve your drink in. Ready? Let's do it. Guys, these are some basic bar tools. Now we're gonna go more in depth as we get into the other episodes, but for right now, let me just take you through this. So this is a mixing tin. This right here is a mixing glass. You put the two of these together and you have yourself a nice Boston shaker, shaking your drinks. This right here is a Hawthorne strainer. And this fits on top of a mixing tin, keeps the ice in as you pour the liquid out. This right here is a julep strainer. And say you have a drink with some ice in this glass, this keeps the ice in as you pour the drink out. This is a conical strainer, and this can work with either one of these. So for instance, you have a very pulpy drink, you have some mint leaves floating around in there, all kinds of pulp. You do a double strain. So you pour into the conical strainer and this will catch the pulp, the leaves, whatever. Next, you have your bar spoon. You use this for stirring. You could taste with this. You could even layer with this using these spirals. This right here is a mixing glass. Some people call it a beaker. It depends, and you put some ice in here and you stir in this. Has a nice little spout here for you just to pour the liquid out once you're done. This is a muddler. There are lots of different kinds of muddlers, but you have your glass and you have, I don't know, pineapple, or you're making a mojito and you need to muddle the limes and the mint. You'd use one of these. This right here is a peeler. I'm gonna show you this. So this is an orange. I need a nice little orange wedge. And so I'm gonna go in and bang. I have it here and I could go and squeeze this on my drink. I could garnish with this. Be careful with these. These have cut many a man, many a woman. This right here is a jigger for measuring alcohol. It has various measurements on each side. You pour your liquid in here, get it in, and you get an exact pour when you use a jigger. This is a pour spout. You fit this into the end of the bottle when you're pouring, and this gives you a nice controlled flow, so it makes it easy to measure when you're counting the amount of liquor in your head, which we can show you in later episodes. This right here is a lemon or lime squeezer. Okay, you put your lemon or lime in here and you squeeze it. Now I want to show you. Most people think that you would drop it in this way. No, you put it in face down and squeeze. And then last but not least, we have our garnish tweezers. So for instance, I have a piece of lime here and I'm trying to be hygienic and I could just put this in your glass without actually putting my hands on it. Do I use those often? No, okay, I'm a hands-on kind of guy. All right, so that's just some basic bar tools. Let's get into some basic alcohol terminology. You have mixed drinks and you have cocktails. We use those words interchangeably, but they are different because a mixed drink is two ingredients: vodka tonic, Jack and Coke, tequila soda, vodka cranberry. Those are mixed drinks. A cocktail is 3 or more ingredients: Long Island iced tea, Adios, margarita, sex on the beach, kamikaze, you name it. Those are all cocktails. You walk into a bar and you want a vodka tonic. 3 phrases that you sometimes hear bartenders use are: do you want the well? Do you want the call? Or do you want top shelf? Let me explain these because these are sometimes confusing for people. The well is the liquor right in front of the bartender, and that's usually the cheaper stuff, okay? The low-cost stuff, the stuff that's economical for those of us on a budget. Now, a call is typically the step up, okay? So he'll be like, oh, you want the call? Because if they're using some, I don't know, missing person's vodka, that's how cheap it is. And then the next step might be Absolute or Smirnoff or something like that. That's a step up, and that would be the call. Or you have the phrase top shelf, and that is the top of the line stuff that this bar has. Belvedere, Ciroc, Effin, you name it, depending on, on the bar. Now, bear in mind, some bars are very high end. Therefore, Belvedere or Ciroc could be the well, okay? You could already have top shelf stuff in the well. There are some bars like that, but that's good to know when you walk in. What is your well? And if you hear the well is Belvedere, then you know that every drink in there is very expensive. Neat versus straight up. What's the difference? So neat refers to when you have your liquor and you just pour it into the glass. There's no ice, there's no chilling, it's room temperature. That is neat, as is. Straight up refers to a drink that has been chilled, either stirred or shaken and then strained out. Okay, it's chilled, and that is up. So neat versus up. On the rocks is pretty straightforward. Even if you've never been into a bar, you know on the rocks refers to on ice. So whatever drink it is, it's poured over ice and served to you. There are thousands of glasses in the world of bartending, all for very specific purposes. I can just show you a couple of them and you can play with them. Okay, so this right here is a pint glass. You could put your beer in here, or you see sometimes they use this in drinks like Long Island's, Adioses. This could even be used as a mixing glass with a mixing tin to turn into a Boston shaker. Next, you have a rocks glass, and you get drinks like Old Fashions, Negronis, Boulevardiers. A lot of bars will put Jack and Cokes and vodka tonics in a glass like this. Next up, we get into the martini sort of category. So this is a coupe, this is a martini glass, but these use interchangeably now. Your Manhattans, your martinis, those are used with this kind of glass, even though this was originally created for champagne. Right here, we have our margarita glass, little cactus leaves on the side. You go to bars and you order margarita, it could come in any kind of glass. You guys know that. Like, you see this sometimes, but not often. Next up, we have shot glasses. Tons of different kinds of shot glasses. We have 3 right here. Bear in mind something though. The typical shot size in the United States of America is 1.5 ounces. So if you shake a shot with ice and you pour it in, you need a glass that's bigger than 1.5 ounces to hold all that. So if you buy an 1.5 ounce glass for shots, it's gonna overflow a lot. Next up, we have the Collins glass, okay? Sometimes referred to as a highball glass. A lot of times you see gin and tonics in glasses like this. Tom Collins, Juan Collins, all in this glass. And last but not least, out here on the table, I have the Hurricane glass. And the kinds of drinks you put in here would be a drink called a Hurricane, pina coladas, strawberry daiquiris. So this is just a couple glasses for you to get started on, but there are tons out there. Have a lot of fun. Be advised, none of these glasses here can make your drink taste any better. So if you're at home and you got an empty mayonnaise jar that's you properly cleaned, you can put your drink in there and live life to the fullest. Because trust me, that's what I do. Okay, because if I use one of these, then I gotta go wash it. But my mayonnaise jar, good to go. Stay tipsy.